Are there advantages to aging? Yes, I am Debbi-Jo Horton, and welcome to Advantages to Aging. Join my guests and I as we discuss aging and what makes for a healthy lifestyle, which results in a quality life. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Advantages to Aging. And I have back with me a guest backed by popular demand. This is Barb Hubbard coming to you for time management coach and ADD and ADHD specialist. And we had so many comments and questions on her last two tapings that we just had to bring her back because I'm going to ask her to answer some of those productivity tips and questions that we've been receiving. So welcome back, Barb. So good to see you again.
It's great to be here again, and I'm so excited to share some information on productivity and time management because that is my favorite thing to talk about.
And it really is. I know Barb very well. So let's just jump right in, because one of the things that I'm realizing after we had talked was whether or not you have an ADHD diagnosis, there are some things that we can do to get us on task for feeling accomplished and motivated and really helping us to feel put together. So, what are some of those tips that you might suggest for someone when they're not feeling so motivated?
Feeling motivated is one of the biggest concerns that I hear from the people that I work with and talk to. And so I've actually put together a huge list of what I call getting started hacks, because sometimes it's just getting started on the laundry. Sometimes it's getting started on that project that you have to complete for your business or for your job. But either way, one of my favorite tips is to move. And there's all kinds of different ways you can move that will prompt you to get started. So, movement, the best way, exercise. You can put exercise into the beginning of your day. You can go for a walk or do some push-ups or sit-ups right before you start a big project. But movement gets the brain going. Movement gets our whole body ready to sit down and work on something. Another side of movement, move to a different room. It's kind of a different thought on movement, right? But sometimes you're just sick of where you're sitting and you need to move to a different space. I've even seen this work where you just move to the other side of the kitchen table and it's like a whole new view. And suddenly you're like, oh, I can do this task sitting in front of me. But you can also move outdoors, move to a coffee shop, move to places where it's just a fresh perspective. But I find that movement is the biggest tip for people to feel motivated and get started.
I sometimes use the excuse to dance.
Yes, yes. Turn on a song, dance for one song, and see how you feel then, right?
Yeah,
And then you can
absolutely.
jump back in.
Yeah, as long as it's not one of those heartbreak songs. But yes, you
Yes,
get
yeah.
yourself, get your blood flowing, get your heart pumping, and then just dive right in.
Mhm.
That's a great tip. That is really a great tip. So, what are some of the things that you can do if you can't focus and you really need to get a task finished?
Yeah. So this is the second thing I hear most often, right? First is can't get started, and the second is I can't finish. When you are in that task and you are writing or you are organizing or you are folding laundry, whatever the task may be, and you just can't get it done for whatever reason, my biggest tip is take a break. Take a break. And it's kind of counterintuitive that you would quote unquote waste time by taking time away from the task. But I promise you, if you walk away for just a few minutes, you will come back refreshed and ready to sit down and get going again.
So we're
Uh,
talking about taking like a couple minute break. We're not talking about taking a
exactly.
couple of hours or a few
Yes,
days.
yes, yes. I should have qualified that. Yes. Just a few minutes, just a few minutes. And it could be that you go and, do 10 jumping jacks during that time or dance to one song during that time. But often it's just sitting quietly and kind of assessing, like, what is going on right now? What does my body need? Do I need to go for a quick walk? Do I need a snack? I can't tell you how often this has happened to me. And I realized that I forgot to eat lunch, or, I actually am really hungry and I need a quick snack. Just take a break, walk away. And I say this because most of us will push, 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 push to get through stuff. Oh, if I could just get this done, then I can move on to the next thing. Or if I can just get through this week, I will, feel more. And that really, that time never comes.
No, it doesn't.
We
One of the things, and we're not talking about this now, but something to keep in mind, and maybe it's another episode,
need.
is that if you're an employee, I know I used to do a lot of coaching with employers where tasks wouldn't get finished or they take a lot longer. And it wasn't necessarily that they couldn't stay focused enough to get the task finished, but it was more the fear of not knowing what was coming next.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because right. And if you pause long enough to think it through, or to reach out to your employer and say, what's next, right?
right.
And get clarity on that,
Yes.
then you can go back and you can finish it up.
Yes. Clear is kind. Clear is
Mm-hmm,
kind.
mm-hmm, for sure.
So, on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Debbi-Jo with Neora. You know what our brand partners love the most about their Neora business? They can do it from anywhere. Think about it. Haven't you always wanted to have your own schedule, be your own boss, maybe even have a global business and be able to run it from your favorite coffee shop or lounging by the pool or seaside, not having to go into the office? We make sure that all of our brand partners have all of the tools they need to run their business while fitting it into their busy lives. So if that's something that you've been curious about, what it might be like for you to be able to do life on your own terms, then I think we need to chat.
So, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit of information. And we're going to jump into one more kind of a big section, but a lot of questions in this area around time management and whether there are secrets to time management or maybe some productivity tips or hacks, or is it what allows people to get done so much more in the same time frame as somebody else?
So there is a secret to time management. And the big secret is it is not about time.
I love it.
It's not about time. So many people want it to be about time, and they want to get up a little bit earlier so they have more time in their day, or they want to, get the best apps and systems and calendars so that they can somehow create more time to get other things done, right? But it's not really about time. It is about energy and about mindset. And there's huge tips with this, right? Energy. Time management is about energy management. So if you think of a task or an activity, a hobby that you love to do, usually people say that that time just flies, right? They don't even know where the time went while they were doing that activity. And then you think of something that you hate doing,
Yeah, it takes
and
forever.
exactly. Exactly. And that's about energy. And we need to put more of the things we're passionate about into our day so that we get that feeling of excitement and motivation, and we can carry it over to the next thing that we have to get done. And that next thing will get done faster because we were motivated and excited and passionate about what's going on in our day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sandwiching those things that you dread doing in between those things that
Mhm.
you love doing
Yeah,
makes it go so much faster as
it
well.
does. It does. And you will be so much more productive if you structure your day in that way where you have something either to look forward to or start your day with something that you love to do. You'll get so much more done. The other piece of it is mindset, and they go together, right? If we are excited and happy and loving our life, we get a lot more done than if we are feeling bad, if we're depressed, if we're angry. Those are the days we don't get much done. So you have to do things in your day and in your week to boost your mindset. Listen to things that make you happy. Get together with people, family, friends, coworkers that make you happy. Surround yourself with amazing people and amazing stories and podcasts, things that boost you and make you feel good. Because again, when you're feeling good, you're going to get a lot more done.
Right. And just helping to develop a positive mindset. There's so many things out there that you can
Mhm.
do to
Yeah.
help with that. One last quick question. Maybe the answer's not so quick, but the question's pretty quick. Is there's a lot to be said about the time of the day that we do things and what our natural best time of the day is. I'm a morning person. Ask me to do something at 9 o'clock at night, you're going to get about 10% of my energy. But if you ask me to do something at 6 or 7 a.m., you're going to get way more energy than you would ever think of because I am more productive in the morning after my first cup of coffee.
Of course.
So, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That goes right back to it's not about time, it's about energy, right? I will say that everybody has to know for themselves what their best time of day is. And if you are a night owl, you don't need to fight it and try to become a morning person. There's a lot of experts out there who would say if you only had a morning routine, you would be so productive. I disagree. I think that if you are a morning person, that works great for you. But if you're a night owl and you're pushing real hard to become a morning person, it's just going to backfire on you. I think that if we plan the hardest tasks, the ones that require the most brain power for the time of day when we are have the most energy, then we will get more done in that block of time than we would if we try to do something when we're not at our best. So,
And that is
absolutely.
probably the best piece of advice, whether you have ADHD or
Exactly.
not. Thank
Exactly.
you again, Barb, for being with us. I always love spending time with you. And once again, Barb's contact information will be in the show notes. So be sure to reach out with all of those questions. Thanks again, Barb.
Thank you. Great to be here.
That wraps up another great episode. This is your host, Debbi-Jo, and I can't wait for you to use this information to your advantage. See, there are advantages to aging. What did you learn today that you could see yourself implementing? Share with me in my Facebook group, same name as this podcast, Advantages to Aging. All my guests' information will be in the show notes. So thank you for joining me today, and hit subscribe so that you don't miss all the tips to come in future episodes.